to the launch of taking our message of kind of building a movement for a digital classroom from our words on the I Teach website to a actual video format. So this is our first one. We're going to take a look at the Google Classroom. As we start talking about a lot of the digital tools, a having a place where it all comes together, a learning management system, or I like to just call it a platform, where all of these tools can come together. Google Classroom is a really it's a good place. I know that there are Blackboards and we use Converge, but there are some different options out there. But the good thing about Google Classroom, it is free for anyone with a Gmail account. So we're going to take a look at Google Classroom. As you can see, I'm in my Google Classroom. It can be found by selecting the waffle to the left of your sign in or your little picture there, and just select Classroom. And then you'll notice there that there is the plus sign, and on the plus sign that we'll see, that's where we can start a class. But I have no classes, as we can see right now. I've emptied everything, and from here I'm going to use this as where we'll kind of stage all of our digital lessons moving forward, and as we kind of grow, we'll grow this. But and there's the waffle where you see the classroom. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to see the plus sign at the top right of the screen. We're going to select that, and since we're a teacher, we're going to create a class. Now from here, we're going to enter some basic information. I'm a 5th grade math teacher, so I'm just going to enter Math 5. You can put your section. You can put as much information or as little information as you'd like to put right there. And then it is going to create with the blue button. Now at this point, you're creating your first class. Take just a few seconds to kind of personalize itself, and then it'll move into allowing you to set up the next steps of it. So here's my Google Classroom, and as you can see, it's really pretty basic and it's blank at this point. It gave me a cover photo. I guess I'm assuming at this point that it kind of staged it off the fact that I'm typed math in, and it gave me the green chalkboard with some numbers. But you can personalize that with, if you'd like, if you're into that kind of thing, and just the upload a photo, or you can select a theme, and pretty standard Google stuff there, and you can pick any of those and it'll change it around for you. You're also going to notice that across the top you have the word stream, students, and about. When you select the about button and the, well, with the students first, the students, this will be your roster, and we'll come back to that in just a second, but your about is going to be where you are putting information. You can put a class syllabus if you would like. You can put any introduction video, kind of anything you would like for people to know, just kind of more informative types of things. You can invite a teacher to join along as a collaborator so that they have access and some of the same rights that you have as well. But this is just the kind of a home base for information. Next is the most important part, is when we start talking about adding students. Now, there's a couple ways. First way you can do is hit invite student, and you enter every student's email individually, and it'll send them an invite. They have to click a button and all of that. It's way too long. The best and the most effective way to do this is to select the class code, and you can select the drop down arrow, and it has display. So you can take in your classroom, put this on your projector, and have all of the students just simply enter this code. It even has a little button there to expand it, and then voila, this is the class code, so you can start getting some students logged on to your account. Now for this video, I have a fake student who will be joining. That's actually me, and I'm going to be switching screens back and forth. So we're going to switch over here in just a second, and we are going to let our student join this magical trip we're about to take. And so from a student view, now we're looking, they see the same thing you see. They have no classes. They're going to hit plus, except they're going to join a class. This knows that I'm a student, not a teacher. I can't start a class. But I'm going to enter that W9WCG9, and I'm going to join the class. And from a student's perspective, that's what it looks like. As you can see, there is absolutely nothing there for them to see at all. So now, the student perspective, they're done. They have nothing more than until I do something. Notice the difference in their top, though. They have stream. They can see any classmates that are there. Yes, this student I've just logged in is named Chewbacca, which is probably the coolest thing ever. This is my fake student who, when I make these videos, I get to interact with. And then they can check out the about had I put anything there. But the stream is where they're going to find anything. As of right now, they have nothing there for them to see. So they're just kind of hanging out waiting. Now let's flip back over to the teacher view. Now from my view, I'm going to come back to stream. Now at the stream, it's going to welcome your class to the stream. It's going to kind of prompt you to do something. In this bottom right corner, you're going to see a plus sign. These are the things that you can do. You can create an announcement, create an assignment, create a question, or reuse a post. So what I'm going to focus on are really the bottom two in this video. The first thing you might want to do is create an announcement. And it could be something as simple as, welcome to, I'm a math teacher. And you'll see that throughout this. Welcome to my class. Please watch my introduction video. So I'm going to have them watch a video that I made. Through that, I want to go to YouTube. So I can select the YouTube button. I have two options. I can search the video here, or I can enter the URL directly. I'm going to come here and actually go to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to select a video that I actually made welcoming students to my class. It's right here. So I do a little weekly from the classroom to the kitchen table. Episode 1 was just really an introduction to my class. I'm going to copy the video URL. I'm going to come back to my class. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to add the video. Then I'm going to post it. Now I have a little announcement. Hey guys, welcome. And it's going to go through, in that 15-minute video, it lets the students know how I grade, the weightings of my grade, the class expectations or expectations of me. It lays everything out, even gives them a calendar of the first month. So I could post that every new unit. I could just hit, here's an announcement. We're about to start something new. Watch this or do this or whatever. That's an announcement is something that requires no response back to you. Now, notice that the class has an option, add a class comment. I might want to type something there, and from therein they can post as well. And one of the things I love about Google Classroom is it gives the students the option to interact with one another digitally. Next, let's talk about an assignment. So I'm going to click the plus button, and now I want to create an assignment. Now I'm going to do, we're going to say we're multiplying whole numbers. Now be mindful, and I'm going to try throughout this to really stretch you into thinking beyond. I teach math, so I'm more, all of my tools, everything I'm going to be connecting with tonight or through this video is mathematics, but this isn't limited to simply math. It's simply that's what I have available for me, but I'm going to try to do a few things to get you thinking outside the box. So on this is the title of my assignment. I can add a due date if I would like. I would like there to be a due date of, I want to do to, I'll give them till Wednesday. I can say, hey, Wednesday by midnight. This needs to be done. Instructions. Please complete each of the following items. 1. Watch the instructional video multiplying whole numbers. So the first thing I want to do is to watch a video. Once again, I want to go through YouTube. I'm not going to search the video because my video won't come up. I'll have my own videos. So I'm going to come back and go to my YouTube channel, multiplying whole numbers. This is actually the video here, so I'm going to copy the video URL. I'm going to come back, and from here I'm going to copy, paste, there it is, and I'm going to add it. So they've got their first tool for the assignment. Then I'm going to come back up here. That's just kind of more the instructional piece. Now I want them to practice it. Complete the practice activity. And from here, I want to go into my Google Drive. I've created a Google form as a quiz, which will be on my next video. I'll show you how to do that as a means of practice or assessment. So I want to go into my Google Drive. and I'm going to select this. It's Unit 2 Learning Target 1 Practice Activity. So where this could be kind of a really advantageous use of technology is, let's say you're giving the Unit 1 test and a student finishes early. I could say, hey, why don't you go on to Google Classroom and you could go ahead and watch the video and get some practice, and it allows you to differentiate instruction so that a student who is setting with nothing to do, you all of a sudden you kind of continue to keep them moving, keeping them moving, and they move at their own pace. But now they've got this Google form, and I'll show you the student view, kind of what all this will look like. Lastly, I may want, and I may want to be more specific here, and I may say, hey, Unit 2 Learning Target 1 Practice Activity 1. And then third, we may do a lesson reflection. And this may be, we may do like a rose and thorn. Which what that means is, from in my classroom, a rose and thorn, say, tell me one good thing about this and tell me one thing that you struggled with. Kind of teases out, getting them to think critically about it. So then I would hit that. I've got the tools they need here. This here would be, some language that they know in my classroom. I could write the question out if I want, but they would know that, and then I would hit assign. Now it's assigned. I've got my first assignment. Again, notice that it is, chronologically speaking, the most recent will come at the top. But again, I can move something to the top. Say if I want this announcement up top, I have that option, but I don't with this. So now I've got an assignment. But now let's jump back over to our student. So our student, he comes back, and Chewy comes in, and now he sees, I've got a couple things going on. I've got an announcement I need to watch, and I've got an assignment to do. Here's the better part of that, is we'll go to Chewy's email. And let me refresh this email real quick. You're going to notice every time I do something on the Google Classroom, it's going to send him an email saying, hey Chew, we need to change that to Chewy. But John Elliott has posted a new announcement, and it's going to kind of continue to email back and forth with him. Likewise, got another one. Hey, new assignments there. So every time the student gets something, it's going to email them and let them know. But now Chewy's going to go in and he's going to do his thing. So first thing he's going to do, he wants to watch the video. He clicks the link, and then he's going to go. Now the last thing I want to do is bore you for the next 5 minutes and 46 seconds with this video. So we're going to say, hey, we've done this. Then we want to go to multiplying whole numbers. It'll open a new page. It says, hey, is this who you are? Good thing about it, and all of this will be on my Google form. I can kind of see, and then it's going to walk him through 4, 5, 6 questions, however long this product is. And let's say then he does that. Now he's ready to do the reflection piece. This is the part that I actually love. So instead of typing it in, what he can do is he's going to create a Google Doc. And in doing so, he's created his Google Doc multiplying whole numbers on the sum. This is the reflection piece. And this is where when you start to think outside the box of what would it look like to add content beyond, like from a social studies or a reading, you could post a passage where you're doing more actual writing. This could be where you are. And so I would say, and again, setting the classroom standard, standard. This is my Unit 2, Unit 2 LT1 reflection. And then I would say I liked blah blah blah. I struggled with blah blah blah. And then we say, hey, how are we going to pass? However, I'm not going to waste a lot of time. But they're on this Google Doc. Notice up here on your Google Doc, which is new, it's not shared, but you want to now turn it in. So once I click turn in, it's going to come in and say, hey, turn your work in. It's going to ask me again, you sure you want to turn it in? Yes, I'm turning it in. Now I've done the reflection and I've turned it in. Now I'm going to come back over to the teacher screen. Let me refresh the classroom. And now I've got a student, if you'll notice, my only student is done with their work. And the cool thing is, the more students you have, you'll be able to open this page here up, and each of my students individually, I'll see the work that they've done. And then I can come in, and I want to look at Chewbacca's work. Now at this point, Chewbacca cannot edit the work once he has turned it in. It's only me. I can add things to it, but he can't do anything to it. He's only in view only mode. And I can look at it, I can make my comments and do that. And we'll have videos that'll go into that. But then I can come back and say, well, Chewbacca did this. It's worth 100 points over there. I can give him 100 points, and then I can return it to him. And it says, you want to return this? Absolutely. He did a great job. Return the work. Now, coming back to Chewbacca, here he comes back. Now, I'm not sure how quickly his email is going to be hitting up. We refresh it, and Chewbacca's got a new email, and it says, John Elliott gave you this grade on the homework. So it kind of, again, keeping those student-teacher going back and forth. And so that's a really, really cool way of doing things. So back to... and again, I can look at student work, or I can look at the simple instructions of that assignment. You can make those as detailed as you want. As we continue to add to our depth of understanding of the Google Suite, we'll be able to continue to tie them back into this. And I'll just keep this Google Classroom up and going, and we'll come back and we'll build even more complex lessons. But that there is just a way to go, hey, what's the way that I could differentiate instruction, or I could keep I have a student who's fast finisher. Here, a quick video, a practice activity, and a reflection, and they're digitally engaged in activity, and it's built towards that student's needs. So great for intervention and acceleration. So it's a great way to use technology to intervene. So this is kind of Google Classroom. Again, I told you I'm flying high on that. I don't want to go too deep with it because I don't want to dig into too deep of time. But for now, this is our flyover of Google Classroom. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a platform to bring your digital tools together. And other than that, that's all I've got for now. Please check in. We're going to hit Google Forms next, and we'll dig through each of the Google tools and talk about how they can help us become better at differentiating instruction and bringing technology into the classroom. Thanks a ton for listening, and talk to you soon.